Choosing America's Morning Headquarters. We're here to get you through the mid-morning hours.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. The Weather Channel helping you plan for all of your big events ahead. This week, it's still about the snow coming down. We're finding that right, you can see it behind us across the northern tier.
It is remarkable that, it's been so warm for so many in the southeast, especially in the east. We've changed patterns, and it's going to get active.
Yes.
Well, one area where we haven't seen a whole lot of change in the west.
Yeah.
The onslaught continuing here. We got more active weather to deal with there. Snow's going to add up in the higher terrain. But the rain's going to add up too, and that could lead to some flooding in some of these areas.
Yeah, we're going to go in depth actually on the snow ratios, how much liquid is in that snowpack and in the snow coming down, and we'll talk about how that's going to affect your plans actually.
All right, now all the classic signs of spring are showing up.
Mornings really push that population up to get it to naming criteria. Now, how much snow are we talking about out of this? Well, there's a widespread, at least 1 to 3, or even 3 to 5 in the darker blue, but 5 to 8 right here in the eastern side of Wisconsin. Two things at play there. One, the winter storm that's coming through, but once the winds turn around from the east, we'll get a little lake enhancement or lake effect as well. So twofold for you there. Let's show you what's happening right now. We've got this moisture fetch coming in. That's part of the story. We're getting a decent fetch of moisture from the Pacific, and actually there's some coming up here from the south as well. But also we've got our disturbances rolling in here and a pretty potent jet stream, and that is really going to enhance the snowfall and the snowfall rates through the afternoon and evening hours here. So I think that's a big part of the story. Sioux Falls, you're snowing right now. Omaha, you're snowing. You're still sitting at 33 degrees. We're looking at 33 around Des Moines as well, but it's all snow, and we are going to be watching the colder air back up to the north, like in Aberdeen and South Dakota, Mobridge, Rapid City. This is where temperatures are in the teens with snow coming down. Roads are snow covered. Of course, it's so cold out there. We've got covered roads all across the southern part of South Dakota, including right along I-90, Rapid City to Sioux Falls. You're running into that. There are parts of I-29 that are snow covered as well. Heads up for travel. We are, still completely in winter mode here. Snow falling at the airports, no delays right now. Minneapolis, Des Moines, Omaha, all looking good. I mean, Minneapolis, we have a award-winning snow removal team up here. And so unless you really get into the bigger snowfall rates, most of the time you can handle it. But we'll watch it for today and watching for the snow movement across lower Michigan. Commute home will be snowy. Tomorrow morning's commute, there still could be some lingering snow falling, but at the very least, there'll be snow on the roads. Let's zoom into Milwaukee, Alex, and talk details about that.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
What spring?
Yeah, exactly. So, feel free to chime in. We'd love to hear from you there. So many, what I like to call sub-seasons of the spring.
Yes. Spring is definitely one with just a split personality, and I feel like you love it, you hate it.
Yeah.
And that changes on the daily.
Yeah, exactly. Literally day to day. In fact, sometimes within the day, you can get the changes.
That was my day exactly yesterday. The pollen was getting to me, and all of a sudden I drove past the house and the beautiful azaleas in bloom and the red buds were purple, and I was like, oh, the spring is so pretty.
Exactly. Yeah, there's just the duality of it, right?
Yeah.
You got to take the good with the bad.
Well, you can stay prepared.
Yesterday in North Texas, it was in the 40s, and they had severe thunderstorm warnings. So these were elevated storms, not a whole lot of severe, but you know what? It can happen even when it's cold.
Yeah. And so then rain to the south, snow to the north. This time not as much severe weather, so it's not like an outbreak. The snow might be a little more impactful this time.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're talking snow and winter weather, you got to be mindful of that. So let's talk about the areas that we're facing the worst of the wintry weather, at least for now. And we're going to focus in across parts of the Midwest.
They certainly are. A lot of extremes when it comes to snowfall. We want to talk about the extreme snow and that this latest atmospheric river will bring as well. We're looking at Kirkwood, where we've got a winter storm warning in effect, 96 inches of snow in the forecast.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Plus, on top of that, not just the snow coming down, but the winds are going to be screaming out there as well.
Yeah. Not to mention, I mean, there's resorts out here that have more than 600 inches of snow, doubling in a lot of cases the average snowfall for the season.
This has been a banner season, no doubt about it. So, again, there has been some good, but there's been also some bad to deal with as well. One thing we're going to focus in, though, is snowfall, right? The different snowfall ratios that you can get, which can really be a big player in how much snow you actually end up with.
It's been interesting this season across California. A lot of times we get the wetter snow. Wet snow is considered a snow snow ratio of 7 inches of snow to 1 inch of liquid. And that's a kind of like really heavy, tough to shovel, tough to ski through. So far, especially in January and certainly February too, we've had the drier snow, like 15 inch to 1. It's more like Colorado, Utah snow, but in California.
The stuff that just kind of blows around like nothing out there. So lots of things go into how you get those snow ratios. Temperatures are very important in that as well. You include what's going on with the warm layer. Oftentimes you have a warm layer in the atmosphere, so as snow falls through it, it begins to melt. And if it is the warm layer is too big, well, guess what? It's going to melt all the way, and now you got rain. If it's not too big, maybe it just partially melts, but you're still talking about a very, very, in that case, low snow ratio.
So we're expecting a lot of snow. I mean, we're talking about 6 feet plus the 96 inches that we told you about there in Kirkland. I mean, Kirkwood, I should say. So we've got a big snow coming in, but this time it's going to be a wetter snow. So all these other times, the storms have actually brought a really dry snow with not as much liquid as we're going to get with this event. So you think about it, you've got 6 feet of snow, and if there's at least an inch in every single 10 inches up there, at least more than that, we're talking about a lot of water.
Absolutely. So it's going to add up. We've already got snow out there as well. We've got another 5+ feet to add up, but there's some areas that have seen quite a bit of snow that will now add rain on top of that, and that could lead to some flooding. Looks like we got some more wet weather coming into LA as we get into this evening. Today, most of the day, we'll stick with clouds and some sunshine, but that's expected to change as we head on through this evening. Here comes the rain, and that's something that's going to actually linger into our Friday. So, it does rain in Southern California.
Oh, yeah, a lot this year. Well, my pick city's a snowy spot. It's 22 inches and more on the way.
Man.
We got it today.
I mean, that's orders of magnitude above what they normally do.
I know. We're well above average. We've been severe on the winter scale since December, and we just haven't looked back here.
Wow, so somewhere there has been winter.
Yes.
All right, well, let's bring it Dr. Costello to talk about an area that
very good point.
There's no medicine for snow.
There's literally nothing you can do. You just have to deal with it.
Or you could travel, maybe.
Leave
it. Leave the area. Just leave. You remember that was the only way to know what was on TV?
Yes, TV Guide. My goodness.
Tiny little book.
Yeah. I am old enough to remember looking through it very carefully to find out what was coming next.
Right.
Same here. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for choosing America's Morning Headquarters to get you through the mid-morning hours.
Indeed, indeed. We're going to help you plan out the rest of the week, which is going to be filled with, a couple of winter systems. Targeting in the northern tier, one that's bringing in some snow showers activity right now. You see that behind us. Des Moines is really feeling the brunt of it at this hour.
We'll show you that coming up. We're also talking about the next storm incoming to the west. This is a big one. It is an atmospheric river event. A lot of moisture with it. We're going to let you know what the biggest concerns are and show you how they're preparing.
It is remarkable how much snow that are very significant for those of us in the east. We'll be talking about that.
Looking forward to that.
You know, all the classic signs of spring are showing up in today's big deal.